Hello and welcome everyone, Lana here with another battle replay. This time it's from Medieval 2 Total War, sent in by Centurion Titus. This is the 2v2 and he's entitled the email he sent me with this replay as Bloodthirsty Conquistadors, or Conquistador Pain Train, or Thriving and Surviving Conquistadors. So I think perhaps from that we can get a glimpse, a hint even, of what we might expect in this 2v2 battle. So, I've also got banners enabled, managed to get that sorted out, so we'll have them enabled now for battle, so it's a bit easier to see what's going on. Again, if there's any kind of little bits of stutter or what have you, it does seem like Medieval 2 just does not like being recorded these days with all the software that I have available. I'm just going to drop the speed down to like 0.2, just so we can take a look at all the units that are set up. And Centurion Titus did include a full list of all the units, who's playing as what, and the fact that you can with Medieval 2 see who's playing as who by just hovering over. So on this side we have Portugal and France as one team versus Sicily and Hungary. So Dobby is a free elf, we've seen him fight before. We'll go through his units briefly. He has 3 Knights of Santiago, 3 Pavise crossbows, and 12 dismounted conquistadors, and 2 times aventuros. So those conquistadors, I can now see why it's bloodthirsty conquistadors. There are a lot of them, armoured quite nicely. They have the aventuros, which are these pike spearman unit. Pretty nice, good solid formation so far. Watching that left flank. And yeah, 2 Knights of Santiago on the left, and then I assume as his general in the centre. You can see the Pavise crossbows in front of all of those conquistadors. Playing as France, we have H600 Barker. I'll probably just call him Barker. And he has 1 general bodyguard, 1 lancer, 1 mounted French archer, 2 Scots Guard archers, and 4 Aventura. Infantry, he has 2 dismounted noble knights and 5 chivalric knights and 4 pikes. So you have the Aventuras here, which are the crossbow, heavily armoured. Behind that, the pikemen, forming up nicely, 2 ranks deep, bending behind his missile troops, giving them a chance to pull back. He has Scots Guard, heavily armoured, plated archers behind them, dismounted noble knights with their halberds, and then those lancers, general's bodyguard, and French mounted archers on the right flank, with all those dismounted chivalric knights behind his main force. So let's go take a look at Sicily, who is by God, I can't say your name, Ilzy Guledji? No, Ilzy I will go for, or Sicily. But anyway, Ilzy has, apologies if I am butchering your name here, 1 General's Bodyguard Cavalry, 2 Pavise crossbows, and 17 dismounted Norman Knights, which are in this huge stack of forces here. Yeah, it is super helpful, I should say, guys. I really appreciate when you guys include which units are being used by who in your replays. This is shaping up for a massive infantry battle. So let's go over to take a look at Hungary, which is by a Roffelcopter. That's an easy name on that one. And he has brought with him 7 Pavise Militia as his crossbows at the front, we can see here. 3 Knights Templar Cavalry and 5 Pavise Spears and 4 Chivalric Knights. We can see the spears just behind here. Lots and lots of armour, and at the back dismounted Chivalric Knights. Those Knights Templar Cavalry being left way out to the right. So that's the teams. France and Portugal versus Hungary and Sicily. Let's see how it plays out. Just forming up now on the, I think is this called Italian grassland? Can't remember, but nice open flat map. Not going to be any terrain surprises here. It's all going to be about watching those flanks, watching that cavalry. Thankfully, both sides do have a pretty even measure of cavalry, bar Sicily, which with ease is down to just the general's bodyguard. Everyone else has a few units of cavalry, shock cavalry for the most, that can be used to go for those flanks. But, I mean, ultimately, they're not going to be able to do it. They shouldn't be able to do too much damage to the infantry because they're all heavily armoured. It's going to be going for those crossbows, those missile units. Of course, they've all brought the crossbows which will penetrate armour. Obviously, the Scots Guard. And we'll go over with General's Bodyguard just balls deep in enemy territory. What are you doing here? You're trying to purposely lure them to you. Sicily and Hungary have linked up with their Knights Templar out on the left. Knights Santiago by Dobby going off to meet them. And France is redeploying its formation as well. But if France is careful, they can probably deploy around here and have a flank advantage on Sicily. I mean, Sicily, they just have that infantry powerhouse. All those dismounted Norman Knights. They are going to do a lot of damage if they can be used properly. And if they're not just thrown forward. If they can get some flanking going, that should be good as well. They're just readjusting, I think, to present flat line along the front to meet Dobby and Barker. But they've lost a lot of troops there. They've been taken down by some crossbow shot. And Dobby hasn't seen the Knights Templar charging into his Knights of Santiago on the left flank. That is not going to go well for Dobby. He may not be a free elf for long at this rate. Those crossbows firing, but they're not protected by the cavalry anymore. And Dobby is just throwing his forces forward into the Pavise Spearmen. The Pavise crossbow being pulled back. In go those conquistadors. Are they going to be bloodthirsty? Is it going to be a pain train? So much easier with those banners. See what's going on. He just slammed on in. He's brought his Aventuros in, his pikes. Kind of a bit of a mess along that front line. More conquistadors coming on in. They've also been thrown into the Norman Knight Sicily line. And France is way out. Barker has not moved forward to support Dobby well at all here. He is way behind, taking his time just to move forward, but he needs to get there fast, otherwise there's not going to be a lot of Dobby left. However, Dobby sending in his general, I believe, to help out against the Knights Templar. The Knights Santiago holding their own against the Templars, actually beating them one-on-one here, and now 2-on-1. That cavalry's going to go down. If Dobby can gain the cavalry superiority, he's going to be alright. But there are more Knights Templar, 41 of them, charging across the plains now, ready to clash into Dobby's forces. Dobby sees this and throws 29 forward. Clash together. He needs to get a rear flank in on that soon, but these guys, there's only 8 of them. 12 versus 5. He might just be able to do it. He's got his crossbows over here. He's rapidly moving some conquistadors over as well. And it looks like they're actually making some good progress through the Hungarian line. They really are bloodthirsty. They are cutting on through. Even the chivalric knights getting bashed about by the conquistadors there. France moving its cavalry up. French mounted archers. But the Norman knights, there are so many of them. And so few of poor old Dobby without French support to try and hold them back. However, he is having massive success against Hungary's forces, breaking them in the centre. Those spearmen are just disintegrating, just melting in front of the heavily armoured dismounted conquistadors, and they are punching on through, truly bloodthirsty. Venturos pushing on in with their pikes ready to go, and yeah, that Hungarian front line is gone. He's got plenty of crossbows at the back firing in, and that could really cause trouble for Dobby if he can't take them out. Cavalry-wise, Dobby has managed to win against the Knights Templar, and he's pushing up with the remnants of his Knights of Santiago. He can get in some flanks against the crossbows. He might be alright. Last of the Knights Templar back on the top left there with Rufflecopter. And what's going on over here? Cavalry going into the Pavise Spearmen and breaking them, using them to skirmish a cav just to clear them away. And France is not moving in. Barker, get up there.
Lord preserve us. We have lost half of our men.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Have they? Oh, right, Dobby must have lost half of his men. They've taken a beating right now. Absolute beating. Dobby is a machine here. This conquistador is doing so much, and he's pulling back now to Barker.
They have lost half their men.
They have lost half their men, whereas Dobby has lost half of his force, but France is all intact. These guys are insane. Conquistadors always been this powerful. I mean, just look at the Hungarian dead. You can see by their shields here. These conquistadors, I mean, they've taken damage, sure. They have dealt some massive casualties. into the Hungarian line. And the Norman Knights, actually, there's still quite a lot of them, actually. They're just pulling back. Having a bit of a reform right now. But Hungary has pretty much lost all of its melee infantry, bar a couple of dismounted chivalric knights. Does still have the missile advantage.
The enemy general is dead.
Ah, Sicilian general is down. I don't know what he was doing out there. Either he was broken and routing, or something else is going on. But God, just look at the bodies, the slain here on the battlefield. Ridiculous. He's still got a few units he needs to pull back. But he's pulled the majority back now. Linking up with the French line. And now if they push together, Dobby has done a lot of the work for Barca there. Clearing the majority of the Hungarian infantry. Ready for a second strike. And they are just pulling back. They know they need to. The French, though, Barca's troops just here. They're just circling on round. Firing a shot in when they can. They're having a great time. And these Norman Knights aren't going to take too much damage. But, you know, little by little, he is going to harass them. And I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to keep them harassed. Constantly on the move. We can see that huge formation, though, between France and Portugal. And I think I was just looking for Dobby's cavalry, but I think it has all gone by now. Looks like it might be over here. Nope. No, that's all gone. Don't know what's going on. Oh, is that Dobby? No, that's dismounted. That's dismounted Dobby Cav. I think he's all out. Oh, no. Here we go. I have found them. One knight Santiago and two over there. So, cavalry is gone for Dobby. However, Barca does have cavalry still. Lancers and General's Bodyguard. Scots Guard. And at this point, they have the numerical superiority here. 29% to 48. That was insane. I'm going to have to... When I'm searching through for a thumbnail for this replay later, I'm going to have to take a look at that strike from Dobby with the Conquistadors, because we're all over the place with cavalry strikes and everything, but they just melted to his Conquistadors. Insane. I'm expecting these dismounted Norman Knights, though, to be able to hold quite nicely against them. Put up quite a fight. We'll have to see. Just reforming. Big, very blocky, small formation. Not spreading out too much to try and meet the French-Portugal line. You guys are piked up and ready to go. Not quite sure Baker needs to be so defensive with his pikes on the left. They could have better support Dobby behind his line a little bit better, because there's no cavalry threat really. I don't think there's actually any cavalry threat from Sicily. Oh no, they've got a few cavalry there. It must be there. Yeah, 9 of them. There's no real need to watch the flanks that aggressively. Those pikes, you just have them folded into your main line. Going in with his lancers here to see if he can get in. Is he going to go for the dismounted knights? Because they have no cavalry response really that can challenge these guys. French mounted archers still just having a... He's just going straight on in. Now Baker just charges in. That was not a good looking charge. That looked awful. Baker has come off the worse for that. Just kind of just went up to them and tickled them. Barely did anything. If he's trying to get behind to hit the crossbows, sure. That makes more sense. Right, the Lancers down, getting a better charge this time. We should see them plow through. Charge impact not that good. This guy's taking massive casualties now, but they need to get them out of there because they are just surrounded by Hungarian crossbows. But all of this is just chipping away. I'm surprised that they're not moving up, though, using that distraction with the Lancers just to push their whole formation forward. They have enough troops combined, Dobby and Barca. We'll have to wait and see. This is part of the Free Elf's master plan here. I mean, just, literally, it's just throwing all those Norman Knights, trying to chase them around. Barca lost a fair few of his cavalry here, his lancers, and I'm not sure he's really gained a lot for it. But he has pushed those crossbows away, and he has created a massive gap between Hungary and Sicily, because Sicily just pulled all of its knights back. These guys did get wrecked by a volley, though, and they have broken. If they had managed to get in and do, you know, a substantial charge, I mean, they'd need more cavalry to do it, really. A good attempt, but wrecked by all of those improvised crossbows, and I guess that's what they were trying to clear out there so they could advance with their formation. because they are going to be under threat. And Dobby pushing forward once again. I'm surprised to see how many troops he's got left. You know, he lost half his force, but he's still got plenty. Barker, though, come on, support your ally, mate, here, or Dobby is just doing all the hard work. There's defense, and then there's sitting back in the changing room, not even getting ready for the game. I mean, he's tickling forward with a dismounted noble knight. Just send them all forward. You've got massive clearance before you even get these guys. Sicily is just holding back with all those Norman knights. I don't really know what his plan is for committing them. If he can get a good flank with them, sure. But right now, because Hungary lost all of its melee troops pretty early on, pretty much, because Riflecopter's out of those, all he's got is missiles to add to the engagement. I'm just trying to go for the wide envelopment now, which, yeah, that's fine. France pushing forward now with its archers and finally moving forward its formation. I kind of wonder if Dobby and Baker were, I wonder if they were on voice comms at this, or whether Dobby was frantically typing to him like, move up! Although, for this first engagement, no need, Dobby, you had this. G freaking G Dobby. Here they come again. Just gonna fast forward it a little bit while they get across the plains. All that's going on right now is that the French mounted archers have finally been pushed back. I'm not really sure the formation he's got. They're just going for a flat line right now. French moving forward, and it's just going to be skirmish versus skirmish. Crossbow versus crossbow. Who can whittle down the others the most? They've all got vice variants pretty much. But Dobby is coming in with those bloodthirsty conquistadors, and if they chop through these guys like they did the melee troops in that first round, it is going to be goodbye Hungary, because Sicily isn't. They're not supporting each other. Got the last visit smack. I wouldn't commit them. You don't need to screen them that aggressively. Pull them back. No, you're gonna get munched. Dobby sees this, and Dobby is hungry. In those conquistadors go. How will they fare against dismounted chivalric knights? 37 of them versus 55. Flaming shot from the Scots Guard. Not really helping Dobby out. Shooting a few of his own men in the back. Those chivalric knights, they're dropping down to 44. These guys are insane damage.
It is unwise to praise the day before sunset, but
they've nearly pulled them even in terms of numbers. Just that one unit there against this guy. They've broken. The flaming shot. The last of the Knights of Santiago have gone in the back. There's 3 of them. And he's broken them all. They're fighting to the death, some of them. But he's just broken them all. These conquistadors are insane. Bloodthirsty Conquistadors is certainly the title of this video. I'm pretty sure. It's ridiculous. There is Dobby's general, though. He needs to get him out of there. He doesn't want to lose him. Baker not moving forward, dude. You're going to have to go to them. They are not coming to you. No way are they coming to you. But this is all Dobby right now. I mean, he's brought up his archers a little bit. Dobby is just pressing on. Pressing the advantage. He's trying to catch those crossbow militia. Sicily now kind of seeing what's going on, and they are throwing their forces forward. But just all being thrown forward. Get the flanks, man. They're pulling back. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if Dobby and Barker did communicate during this battle or not at all, if it's just a random pairing. But for now, it looks like Dobby is single-handedly winning this battle for them. The Norman Knights going in like a column strike now. Get the widespread flanks going. I'm not really sure what he's doing here, because they are getting pounded for the crossbows. In those conquistadors go. They are hungry. It's lunchtime. And there's a helping of Norman Knights on the table. Dobby going in, getting a little bit of sort of flanking going on those units. Guys are still doing pretty well. Wow! And they are just breaking all of them. They've slain the Hungarian general. I mean, they killed the Sicilian general early on. All these guys, though, just insane. Just breaking through them like that. Dobby, you're a monster. he's just absolutely shattered them, and like, poor form Barker, not supporting Dobby well at all in this battle. Not that Dobby needs it, maybe he's just fed up, he's just going for it. It's just, I don't need allies, sod it, just going in. Now hacking on through the Purvised Crossbow Militia. I need to try these guys out in a multiplayer battle. Clearly these Conquistadors dismounted are insane. Obviously there is that morale shot going on because both Hungary and Sicily have lost their generals, Ais and Rofocopter. I mean, look at them, mass rout from these guys. France has brought up its skirmishes. They are going to get a little bit involved in just chasing those guys down, and will keep them from going back on in to harass Dobby. But 1, Dobby is a machine. 2, dismounted Conquistadors as Portugal are machines. But that timing of his strikes was really well played by Dobby. Managed to fire a couple of bolts in, but I mean, the armor and defense on these guys. I know what units I'm choosing next time. But yeah, the Hungarian force is just melting in front of Dobby's force here. France now actively kind of screening away those Norman knights. I mean, he didn't even need to bother with all of this. Was not needed. None of this was needed. None of this was needed at all. Sorry if I'm being harsh to you, Barker, but I mean, the battle would have just been over much sooner if you'd just been up with him. But yeah, Dobby just smashing on through the last of the Hungarian forces there. Just absolutely right. I thought this was going to be much closer. I actually thought this was going to be a totally different result, like a really drawn-out struggle between the two forces. But I mean, Barker got 258 kills. Dobby got 1,369. I want to look at those kills from the Conquistadors. Casualties inflicted. 106, 116, 109 from those systematic. 102. That's insane. G Dobby. Well, guys, thanks to Centurion Titus for sending that in. Well played to Dobby, to Barker, Rofocopter, and Ais. And yeah, keep the replays, keep sending them in. You know, ideally the ones with the most kind of variety and kind of, I guess, epicness. Just, I like battles that have lots of different factions involved. I don't necessarily mind ones that are on flat terrain like that some of the time, but obviously ones that use interesting terrain as well. Medieval 2 does obviously have probably some of the best modes for battles in that it has free-for-all, which is great fun. So feel free to send me some epic free-for-alls as well. I've got quite a few to go through as well. There'll be some more Napoleon battles going up soon as well. Battle Replay's got plenty of them to go through too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this replay. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Take pride in the Legion. Check out my affiliates and sponsors, XMG, Greenman Gaming, and Overclockers UK. Until next time, ciao for now.